Hello there! Thank you very much for coming to my stream, and thank you for your patience while I was getting through my makeup readings. I hope that you enjoy it. Your timestamps are in the description below. As I always say, remember, the future isn't set in stone, so it can change. I do believe it to be the most likely outcome. So, thank you, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. I'll do my best to reply. Okay, I'll see you there. See ya! Hi there, Alex! You said, hello, can I get a reading? Love, life, and future with him. We want to live together. Oh, so cute! I have a boyfriend! Second live, worried about the future, college and money. Ah, okay. Let's see, what do we have in store for living together? What's the energy around that? Thank you for trusting me, Alex. I really hope that you enjoy it. And like I said in the beginning, I really do hope that it's worth the wait. Okay, let's see. What's the energy of living together? The spirit want you to know about that. And sorry about my kitty. She's upset I kicked her out. She likes to sit on top of my desktop and overheat it. I'm not neglecting her, I swear. I've been loving on her all day. Okay, we have the Two of Pentacles, we have the Five of Cups, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, I'll say this. It might take longer than you would like. It also, oh my goodness, let me go check on her. I went and I played with her a little bit. I hope that she's calm now. Sorry about that. I want to keep that in because I think that's kind of cute. So I hope you think it's cute too. Alright, the Two of Pentacles. This does mean working the energy. So this is having a lot on our hands. This is having a lot to deal with. And I will say, you know, it'll be a arduous road if I'm honest, because the Five of Cups is here too. This is sadness, this is loneliness, this is disappointment, and so, you know, it'll take a lot of time, it'll take a lot of money, but we have in the future the Ace of Pentacles, and this is opportunity to invest, this is planting new seeds, this is also getting a yes, especially financially, and so I think things will pick up in the future. I think that it'll, let's see what's challenging actually. Oh, the Four of Wands. And the advice card. Your advice from Spirit is to worry about the challenge in front of you before the next. So enjoy the present moment. It does seem to me that if we put too many expectations on the far future, we can get a little bit caught up in what could be instead of what is. And so, you know, your challenge being the Four of Wands is an energy of being very present and celebrating the current moment. And so that's what I see Spirit trying to tell you to do. Don't worry about the long-term stuff for now, because it is a lot to do. You know, there's a lot that we have to experience before we get there. But the current path you are on now, you know, the Ace of Pentacles is always a yes whenever we're asking about like, oh, are we gonna do something? Are we gonna do it? Especially for a home, right? Okay, let's ask a little bit more. What's the energy between you and your partner? Ooh. Is your energy. See what the energy between and their energy is, as well as the challenge and the advice. I just like that spread. I think it's nice. I like it. I like it. I was being really drawn to my, so I like to pick up acorns whenever I find one, especially if they're very beautiful. And I always set an intention. So anytime I start something new, especially financially, especially when it comes to like money, I'll put an intention into the seed and then I'll go out and I'll plant it. So if you ever find a seed, maybe think about that. No, you're asking the universe and you're also giving to the universe. So it's a really good way to manifest. So if you're trying to manifest longevity, give that a shot. It's just a simple, it's just a simple little way to do that. Okay, Justice is the energy in between and the Magician is their energy. So you're coming up as the Moon. This is a little bit confused and worried. You know, maybe you have a very strong intuition and it tells you what's incoming. It can make you worried. Like I said, pulling you out of the present moment. And look at that long and arduous journey, but that's okay. That's part of the process. The energy in between is a justice card, so both of you are very honest with each other. Don't think that anybody's lying. Don't think that anybody is hiding anything, because I do think that they really love you. We have the Magician card. They have the intention to grow with you. They have the intention to become more with you. So anything that they're saying, they are being honest with you, and you're being honest with them. Your challenge is the Ten of Swords, and your advice card is the Knight of Wands. Once again, to be more present, to be more passionate, to be more excited about where you are. I do see the Ten of Swords being like, I'm a little uncomfortable. I feel a little bit defeated. Maybe you had an upbringing where you've never felt safe, or you felt like you couldn't trust people. And the Ten of Swords says that it's hard to kind of feel like the future is going to be better when we've been through so much unrest. And I saw that with the Two of Pentacles as well. So have a bit more faith in yourself, faith in who you are and what you're bringing to the table, because I think you have more power in this than you think. Okay, all right, let's see, let's pull a little bit more. I want to see what you need to know about college. The Sun, you're not making a mistake, I'll tell you that much. The Sun means happiness, joy, and success. And we also have the Seven of Wands. This is healthy boundaries, this is staying safe and staying secure. So you're investing in a stable future. Good. Now, just because, and listen, this is always a thumbs up from Spirit. You're on the right path. The Hanged One is here, and the Hanged One represents seeing things from a new perspective, and the Tower represents a big change. And so just know where you're heading now is the correct path, but it will take a big shift, and it's out of your hands. Like, the reason I say this is the Hanged One is I'm taking a step back, I'm seeing it from a new way, and I'm over here. I'm stuck up here in the tree. This has nothing to do with me. And so you may find, once you graduate, that things are very different from how they used to be. And so there's new things that you'll have to encounter, but everything that you're learning now will aid you in the future, especially when it comes to keeping yourself safe and secure. Okay, I like that. That makes me happy. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. Alex, thank you so much again. I hope that you enjoyed that, and sorry about my kitty cat. I thought it was cute though. I'll see you later. Remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Bye-bye. Yami! Hi, Yami. Thank you so much. It's nice to see you. I just did your aura reading too, so you get double trouble. Ooh, can you hear me okay? Okay, you said, hey, can I get some guidance on my year abroad for university this year? Yeah, I want to be prepared as best as I can. Let's see. Thank you for trusting me with your reading. I really do mean it when I say it is. I hope it's worth the wait. I always say that because I'm being honest. I'm sharing my truth. I hope you can feel it. I hope it doesn't feel scripted. I try my best to be authentic. Okay. Alright, Spirit. Let's see. What does Yami need to know about their year abroad for university? They have the Eight of Wands. Traveling. So you're definitely going if you're worried about it being canceled. So that's really good. The Six of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. Interesting. Challenge is a Judgment card. Advice is the Queen of Cups. They want you to be very present and in the moment. I don't know why, Yami, but there may be something that you're leaving behind, in the country you reside in currently that is kind of haunting you during the trip. And I don't want to say haunting in a bad way. You're just really thinking about it, Maybe you're thinking about someone you left, so like maybe your partner's over there, or your friend's over there, or your dog, your cat, anything, your family, or maybe you've gotten to a tussle with your mom, and and you're worried like, oh my God, when I get back, I gotta resolve all that. It's anything like that. There's something kind of back home that is really, coming up a lot. And what Spirit wants you to do about that is to be present. Judgment card is here, and this is to take it all in. Be here. Be with the experience. Judgment is about epiphanies. It's about a message from the beyond. It's about connecting to the Holy Spirit, and it's also feeling like you are close to divinity. And so it's a very kind of spiritual, very powerful card to draw. And your advice with that is the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is to, you know, she's a very loving, healing, and nurturing energy. If there is something you're leaving behind, just tell yourself it's gonna be okay. I'll figure it out when I get back. All will be well. It's all right. You know, I deserve to have fun. I deserve to enjoy myself and be in an energy of acceptance and love, and you'll have a great time. You know, I just gotta think. It's not bad at all. The Two of Pentacles is here, and this is going back and forth on an energy, and that's what I feel that we're kind of at risk of. It's like we've got 1 foot out and 1 foot in, and just try not to take it too seriously. Genuinely, just enjoy yourself. Though I understand it's university, so you're gonna be busy. That's okay, but don't let it stress you out too much. Genuinely have intention behind this and fulfill that order. You know, you're the manifester. What else do we need to know? What else do we need to know, Spirit? The Seven of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. Yeah, well, yeah. So, yeah, you might come back and there's some news. And I don't want you to be worried, because it's not bad. It's not bad or anything like that, but you know, I don't know what your relationships are like, but I feel like you're gonna get home and it's just gonna be a little like stressful. And I know this is a year away because we have the Seven of Pentacles. This is patience, this is hard work, this is taking your time, enjoying yourself. It isn't your problem. You know, you're somewhere else, you're young, you're youthful, you're having the experience of your life. Protect that for yourself, because you know, there might be, like I said, there might be some things back home that are kind of just poking you here and there, Okay, let's see if we meet anybody there. Not, you know, I want to see what the energy around you is, socially speaking. Okay. Ooh, the Chariot. The Devil and the King of Wands. Ooh, and the Three of Swords. So I do feel that you have a lot of opportunity to meet people, but they may not be as excited as you. You know, I don't know where you're going. If you're going to like France or something like that, you may find that the people aren't quite as friendly as you would hope them to be, but that's okay, because the more that you try, the more you're gonna meet this King of Wands. And this is somebody who's very fun, very excited, very optimistic. They're kind of different from the rest of the people around them. I think they're really cool. Other than that, I think that you are going in with a good head on your shoulders. Don't let other people dissuade you if they're like not super into it. I've noticed that in other countries it's a little weird to just kind of walk up and say hello, but I like it. I think that you're being yourself, you're being authentic, and it'll go well for you. Just be prepared if some people aren't on board to your, you know, your fun train. Someone else can catch up with you. Okay, that's what I have for you, Yami. I wish you like that. Thank you very, very much. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring. Remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Bye-bye. Hi there, Diesel. Thank you very much for getting a reading from me. Once again, I'm sorry for taking so long, but I really do mean it when I say I hope it's worth the wait. You said, hi, I'm also an animation student like you were. Really? I have really high career goals. Good. Ever since I was about 10 years old, I've wanted to be a director. I'm leaving university in about a year, and I was wondering if I could get a career reading about... Yeah! Let's do it. Let's do it, baby. Let's see what we got. Thank you for trusting me. That's so exciting, Diesel. I love that for you. I hope it works out better for you than me. I'm just kidding. I love where I ended up. I love where I ended up. You know, before I wanted to do animation, I was already having like psychic experiences, and I was hearing spirits and like seeing stuff my whole life, and so I think it's really good where I ended up. So, you know, I am a success story, so it can work out. Let's see what we got. Sorry for being silly. I need to stop making negative jokes. I want to be more positive. I'm the best. Just make it till you make it, baby. All right, Diesel, what do we have for you in your career? The 9 of Wands. I remember that feeling, dude. It's hard being an animation student. Look at that. We're putting in the work. We're putting in the sauce. But wow, are you listening to your heart, listening to your soul, and shining your light? You know, Judgment, this is about sharing what is your inner purpose. This is about connecting to spirit. It's also feeling like you are one with the world. It's a very beautiful, beautiful spiritual experience to have the Judgment card. It's an epiphany, you know? And so seeing the 9 of Wands, all of your hard work is paying off. And trust me, it is hard work because the focus is the 2 of Pentacles. This is having a lot to juggle, and that's just what it is, you know? It's a burden worth bearing. That's what the 9 of Wands means. It says, yes, it's hard. Yes, it takes work. Yes, I'm tired, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Your challenge is the 7 of Pentacles, and this is to stay consistent and stay on the path. Remember, it is not a sprint, it is a journey. And the destination should always be the journey, not necessarily the grand outcome. You will get there. You will. It'll just take longer than you'd like. And that's the case for me too. You know, when I started VTubing, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do great. And my first 2 years, I never streamed. I never talked to anybody. I was way too shy, and I was only doing commissions. I wasn't streaming. I was just doing commissions for people, like animations and stuff, because I didn't believe in myself. And I'm happy that I did, because now I can make these models, and now I can make all of this, and it's because I did work for other people. I didn't know at the time, but it was my training period. And so as soon as I got myself into doing all of this, it only took me a year. I started streaming, and then a year later I quit all my jobs and I started doing this full time. And you can do it too. Just remember, it isn't a sprint, it is a marathon. But you'll get there. Your advice card from Spirit is the 5 of Pentacles. I want to look into that a little bit more, because this represents negativity, usually financially or health-wise, but it can also just mean I'm feeling insecure. Let's see what what are you telling us about insecurity? You know, usually when I draw the 5 of Pentacles, Spirit tells me that we need to be more confident. We need to see that there's always going to be a way, even in the darkness. But I'll be honest with you, Diesel, the very first thing that Spirit said to me when I pulled it was, don't spend way too much money on something just for it to fail. You know, there's something that we may go all in on financially that we need to kind of take our time with. Let me see. Because there was a lot of messages here about it's not a sprint, it's not a sprint. And I feel that's what it is, kind of going all in on something financially. Yeah, the Magician card is here, and the Magician is about manifesting, being in control, and the 4 of Swords and the Queen of Cups. Sometimes what we want doesn't take only money, sometimes it takes connection. You know, the 4 of Swords is rest, retreat, and renewal, and the Queen of Cups has to do with giving love and healing and nurturing. And so I do think that what you are cooking up, you know, the stuff that you're doing is making connections for you, and you don't have to push as hard as it may seem when it comes to like getting your foot in the door. It doesn't always have to be I gotta be flashy, I gotta be showy, I gotta have the best things ever. Sometimes just being a kind and genuine person is enough. You know, you don't have to They're telling me to tell you something. Okay, let me tell you a story. I really loved painting. In fact, if you look at most of my animations, it's painted work. But I can't show you because it's under my real name. I would animate paintings, like literally. And I wanted to be in a gallery because I wanted to be in multiple galleries, because I knew that if I had my name on a gallery and I had a showing and I had it in my portfolio and on my resume, I would have my foot in the door, right? Like that's what I just knew. I knew it. And it would get me more gallery shows because I love painting. And I couldn't get, I was somewhere that supposedly artists haven and I couldn't find anybody. But I happened to be working for a church, and I told the church, I said, hey, you have this beautiful undercroft, and you know what? I will do an entire series on your church, and I will give you 20% of all of the sales if I can throw a gallery in your undercroft. And they said, deal! And it was great. It was wonderful. And I just rented some things to hang it up on, and it was a great time. And I want you to know that sometimes you can create opportunities for yourself through people that you know. All right? That's what Spirit wants you to know. Okay, that's what I want to say. Thank you so much, Diesel. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring. Remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Bye-bye.